Behind the Printer Studios side session.
I mean, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. We got a couple printers, all with different backgrounds, all with different art aesthetics, but we all bring it together to make Snow Milk. So I think there's a lot that people ask me when I'm out selling, like, oh, you made this one, so who made this one? Like, how do you know who made what? And I think that comes down to personality, just the way people see things differently. And when it comes to art, just like with music, I think that people hear things differently, people see things differently. When they combine things, it's the result of inspiration that they may have forgotten, but when they're doing the process, it just comes out naturally. So I like thinking about that when I'm printing, even though sometimes I just get into the state where I'm just going and going. I think process is something we could focus on when it comes to it.
Word. I think one of the most amazing things is like how many pieces of clothing that you've printed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come up with all the ideas and I have all the visions, but like it came a point where I couldn't like I wouldn't be able to keep up with the volume. So we built a whole team. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about how many pieces we sold, how many pieces you've printed, like, how do you feel about that?
When I look at the number and when I actually am able to remember every piece that's mine, if I'm out in any of the stores that I can see, I'm like, I remember that one, I remember that one. I don't think I've actually processed that. It's just a lot and it just goes by. Just like when you go to school, when you're younger, you don't really remember one specific day unless something happened. It's all kind of blends. But then when you see it again, it kind of awakens this like, oh yeah, I remember doing that. I remember why I did this. So thinking about the amount, because they're all unique, I guess that's something I should really internalize. It's an accomplishment for sure.
Definitely. You are a great man and a great person. The other thing I think about too, when I look at back some of like World Peace, some of like the designs that we've, Life's a Painting or things like that, some of them like have not changed at all. And you could look back 3 years and it's the exact same thing that we're making now. And then there's other things when you look at it and it's like, it just so looks like 2026 Snow Milk. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
There's an update to the aesthetic in certain ways, depending on the symbols, depending on the messages. But I think the timeless messages that people can see from all over the world and connect with, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I've noticed the evolution of your design and the process and you recognizing what works and coming out with these things that combine these, disparate elements. And then when it comes together, depending on the garment, it just works.
Word. I think about like what percentage becomes those classics. You know what I mean? Because like the World Peace, Life's a Painting, shipping label, positive shipping label, like the kindness, like those are like years they just been rocking. And then you think about some of the other ones and maybe like, do we give them the same chance or do like the people decide and then we just follow the people?
I think it's an environment or the mood of things going on. I think World Peace, Life is the Painting, the idea of creativity, the idea of individuality is always going to connect. When it comes to things that are more niche, like the anime one, I feel like is very dope as far as the aesthetic, the characters. Then there's a video game aspect on the back of it. So some people will connect to the anime, some people connect to the video games. Yeah, I think altogether, it is hard to pin down what works and why sometimes. But for sure, those messages that are timeless, the World Peace, the words hold power, I think those are always going to resonate. And even when I'm selling, I see people come and they're looking at a World Peace or a Love, and it's like, yeah, we need that right now. I've heard that so many times. Like we need that, or people need to watch their words, or I think the environment of the world influences people's state. And then in that state, they're vibrating at a certain frequency and they see something that resonates and it either makes them feel whole or harmonizes them in some way. That's what I like to think about it as. And so they find the thing that they want. Some people come into the booth and they're looking around, taking forever to look around, and they find something. Once they find it, they just know they're getting it. This is what I want. And then other people, of course, I don't know if this is my style. I don't think I could pull it off. And then I just tell them to try it on. And when they put it on, it just shifts dimensions for them and they never expect it to look or feel the way that they do. And it always works. Like, honestly, no matter who puts it on, it doesn't matter. It just always shifts the dimension of their presence. And I think people connect with that, even if they don't understand what's happening. Just like a song can make you feel a certain kind of way, wearing something will completely shift how you move through the world. And that's something important about fashion. especially when it's very message oriented. So I think our job here at the studio, working with your designs, is to make sure that all this information that we're putting onto these pieces, at the end of it, it's harmonized. All the levels are balanced as much as possible. So that's what I strive to do. And then sometimes some runs don't come out like the best. Some of the garments may not jive with the colors exactly, but then you always find somebody that wants that specific kind of look. So it never fails. People will always find what they're looking for, I think, when they come into in that environment. So it's a kind of a magnetic thing going on.
Word. Shout out to Nate. Think he spilled something on himself? What'd you do? What'd you do, man?
I mean, a box is better, but Muscle Milk, if you're listening, smells pretty good on body as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Snow Milk, Muscle Milk. Oh, that nice battery.
Ooh, snow muscle milk. The way I feel about it, just like internalizing the conversation and what we're talking about, it's like a lot of those designs, Life's the Painting, World Peace, Shipping Label, Kindness, Words Hold Power, that all from the same time. It was just like a certain time. And like now I feel like so different as a person that it's like when I do things like, you know, you could lead a unicorn to water, but you can't make it believe in unicorns. Like I came up with that like 10 years ago in a text. I sent it to Kelly. I was working on a book. It was called Dubiisms. And I would just come up with these like concepts I was like living, and like I would send it to Kelly. You know, there's quite a responsibility for Kelly. We haven't come out with the book yet, but we will. And it was like, then I saw it come up in my thing, and I was like, I typed in, you could type it in on Instagram, #Dubiism, and you'll see all the ones that I wrote. And that was one of them that I wrote, and you'll see the date, like 2016. And like to bring it forward, it was like, I took my homie's doorbell. Then I saw his doorbell was upside down, and I just like put it there, and I put it together, and this is like boom. I was talking to Jazz Chisholm, showing him like that was one of the, you know, hoodies that he got, and it was like it made sense for that moment, but it's like I don't know if that makes sense for everybody always, and like I don't even think that's like my job is to make things for that. It's just to like feel and express.
I think that's very true. Somebody asked me about the meaning of that one recently at South Street. And to me, it's always meant somebody's belief in themselves is always going to have to come from themselves. Of course, you could foster it, bring them to order, nurture them, but at the ultimate point, it's going to come from them. And so I think what you do, of course, you're downloading information or you're synthesizing information based off of your experience. And when it comes out, it pops out. And the fact that you had that thought means that there's somebody out there that message is for. I don't think we can create things that don't have a, what do you call it?
Like a landing place?
Yeah. So I think, and there's a spectrum of creativity where I'm always equating it to like the internet or the cloud or whatever, where it's always around us. And then you tune yourself to that. You get these messages. This is your purpose. You want to uplift the world. And then you get these messages, and some of them will hit, some of them won't, some of them will hit at a different time. But I think ultimately it's like you're just picking fruits. And sometimes some fruits just end up on the ground. Sometimes they're eaten and they get carried away. But overall, you're just that engine. You're doing that. And you have to keep doing that. And eventually it's planted and it grows and the people are nourished by it.
It's always good when it lands. Imagination has value. It has a lot of value, even if financially in this world it doesn't like give it back to you. And I'm happy that I'm successful and I've been able to like earn and like have like a claim and stuff. But the same imagination that I had when I wrote that, you know, Dubiism in 2016 and I wasn't making any money, it's like I still have it. Like I still walk around with it and I still believe in that. Like I just believe in imagination, and I believe in joy, and I believe in kindness, and I believe in like having a good positive message for the world.
Yeah, it always goes back to the root. I mean, I've known you for what, almost 20 years?
So let's talk about it real quick before we end the podcast. Let's talk about how we met. You want to break it down?
Yeah, I could break it down. So I think my homie So Curve, I think I don't know if we met at the same time, but it was a performance you did at Santos in Lower Manhattan. I remember going there, I remember being at the performance. I don't know if Santiago was there or somebody else was there. There were these girls at the front of the show, and my friend was always like, yo, go talk to her, you go talk to her. And long story short, we ended up talking, and after that show, we went back to the studio. I think it's on 23rd. And we were there, hanging out. It was a totally new experience for me.
It's 2010. 2010.
Yeah. And so we met then, and then over the years, My homie Sakura would come and record with you guys, and I would see you here and there, go to performances. And then over time, you know, between the years, between on and off. And then there was one year, I can't remember what exactly. I think it may have been like 2018 or 19.
Shinobi Ninja we're talking about previous to this. The shows that Super is telling you that he's going to is Shinobi Ninja.
And I remember being in mosh pits, having nights that I don't fully remember. It was a good time. You know,
Great time.
Good time. And then for a while we didn't connect, but then I remember you messaged me about a studio space that you got off of Craigslist. And at that time I wasn't in the state or in the place to activate on that. And then you hit me up again. And then finally I came through. And at that time is when things started shutting down at 2019-20. And then you started Snow Milk. And then you were like, yo, I'm going to need you. Like months before, you're like, I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you.
I told you the vision of the future was going to happen.
Right. And so that was in my mind. And then when the time came, it was in the back cave down there, just trying things, doing things. And yeah, since then, my connection to screen printing has grown. Because before then, I was, you know, studied graphic design, found different ways of producing things, but screen printing was always like sort of the backbone of it because it's something that you can think, make, and then it's automatically right in front of you. So it closes the creative circuit. And yeah, since then, we've gone from 0 to almost 100,000. I think we have around 80,000 something now. So that's been the journey.
Or 80,000 pieces made. Yeah, Super, you're a true legend. I just gotta always shout you out. Super is always in the interviews. We've done 2 so far, 2 podcasts, and Super is just like the man. Shout out to Nate, shout out to Irving, shout out to Ralph, you know, shout out to all the printers, shout out to all the salespeople, Vance, Jamie, shout out to Isabel, shout out to Kelly, shout out to the interns, SK, Acai, you know what I'm saying? I hope I didn't forget anybody, but shout out to you. You want to shout yourself out, bro? You want to come on the other side? You know, shout out to the videographer here. He's gonna shout himself out. Have a seat right here, bro. Have a little seat right here. Just
usually behind the camera, all good. I go by Shop by Tormenta. I do music videos, all sorts of stuff with the music world. Yeah, man. I don't know what else to say.
That's good.
Awesome.
You said a lot. I just wanted you on the couch. So we're just gonna wrap up this episode of this 2.5, and that was good. Maybe we'll do another 2.5. We're gonna shout out Box Water. You know, we gotta shout them out. It's been great, and we're happy to shout them out. Very cool water, cool packaging, cool flavors. I think that the mango joint is my personal favorite flavor. Let's just say try them out. They got some really cool flavors. I'm gonna shout them out. And thank you guys for tuning in. Leave in the comments anything that you might want us to answer. But we had a nice dive down with Supra and here at the Snow Milk Studio. And shout out to everybody out there supporting Snow Milk and keep on spreading the positive vibes and good energy to the people out there. We love you all and thank you very much. Peace.